But we'll see what happens here. We'll see if this works. I certainly hope it does. But Creed maybe just be going home with a 3-0 here on Sunday. It is game number 3 on Tolvaron. Creed playing that same composition. Tegridy Dam trying out the double Affliction Warlock.
Okay, here we go. Let's see what Dakaroth can do. First time we've seen him in the AWC this year, I think. So at least he's going to get a game in, right? I mean, this has got to work. Double Warlock. Think about all of the dots that Creed are going to have to deal with here. It's just going to be an endless amount of damage. If they can survive the burst, potentially they overwhelm Baka, Tren, and Drainer. Dakaroth setting up one gateway. Warwick's got the other one, so they can run laps around the arena in either direction, but they're already rooted behind the pillar, and they're going after Dakaroth this time, so it seems like Dakaroth they think is a bigger threat, potentially, on the team. Warwick intercepts with a Howl of Terror, protecting Dakaroth, and Dakaroth's making his way into midfield, trading the Dark Pact for the initial burst damage, trying to get posted up out here in midfield and start getting some dots rolling. Oh, nice Shadow Fury. Walrick portals back on top. Walrick is playing very aggressive at the moment on these Shamans as Dark Glare activates for Dakaroth. He's trying to set up some burst damage, maybe bait out some cooldowns, but these dots seemingly aren't doing anything at the moment to Creed.
No, Dakaroth actually teleported back behind the enemy lines. Right now, has to actually shrink it out here. Run behind the pillar. He's going to get aggressive to Dakaroth. This is going to be scary. Ignacio comes out. There's the Fell Rush. Dak with a nice Howl of Terror here. He's going to be able to re-stabilize his position. Warwick's on one side, Dak on the other. Unstable Afflictions coming out here. Dots are coming out. Warwick is still there on the Hex. He could have a Shackle here, but it doesn't look like it. The Trend is going to get rooted here with Unstable Afflictions on him. He's tanking so many dots here. Running down behind the pillar. Dakaroth now getting hunted behind the pillar. He's going to use the Unending Resolve. Drain Life comes through. Dakaroth trying to hang on here. He's doing good counter pressure here at the same time. And Drainer, Baka, and Tren are all going to just overload him with damage behind this pillar here. I don't like Dakaroth's position here. He's just trying to move away from this pillar right now. Warwick's not being able to do anything to help him. And he's still going behind. He's just lining really, really hard. But he does get a Howl of Terror, and then he's going to teleport to clear his slow and then run out in the open. I like that. Now, he won't have too much defense to work with, but he's banking on that pressure. He got a full fear here, but there's 2 Tremor Totems on the side of Creed. And now they just, all they have to rely on is their pressure on the side of Creed. If they can't get counter pressure here, it's going to be very dangerous for Dakaroth here. Trend looking to get some damage. Baka's dropping low, though. They have decent pressure. Fnobber's now in crowd control. Dakaroth pulling Trend behind the pillar here with Fnobbers. It should be enough for him to stabilize. Baka's going in. If he purges out, Fnobber's mana not doing too great. He doesn't have Trinket. Dakaroth doesn't have anything for that next hunt that's going to come up in 30 seconds. They only have the Iron Bark, so if they can force out the Iron Bark onto Dak from Fnobbers here with this Lightning Lasso and with this next Stormkeeper, should be it. In the next hunt, that's going to be, I think it's over for Dak in the next hunt, Sid.
Yeah, Dakaroth is about to say night-night in a moment here. Walrick is carrying, though. Look at this pressure right now that he's managed to establish. Drainer just looks like he's countering it fine here at the pillar. Baka's healing as well. Trend wants to push in for the win here. He's got the hunt. There's no defenses, but Dakaroth has Dark Soul, and they are afraid of that Dark Soul. They are respecting the Warlock's cooldowns. They jump in, they stun Drainer and Baka. Good stun lock by Fnobbers, buying a couple more globals to get some dots up during this Dark Soul. And it is looking pretty deadly at the moment, as Walrick still has his. He can activate if Trent ever decides to make a push here. That seems to be the only moment in the game where Tegridy Damp can make something happen, are those Dark Souls. Tren is charging in, getting ready with the hunt. They got Cenarian Ward, Dark Pact out of the way without using the hunt. Tren is just waiting for those cooldowns to fade and to go in for that burst damage. Drainer on top of Dakaroth, stunning him behind the pillar. Here comes the hunt. Connecting, but not nearly doing that much damage. Cenarian Ward was still rolling on Dakaroth, and it actually allowed him to recover through the hunt. And now he is retreating back to his gateway, posted up with Fnobbers at the pillar. Drainer takes a huge hit of damage. Walrick is rotting down a bit, though, in the midfield as well, as Baka switching some cleave damage onto Walrick. Fnobbers has to heal him up at the same time. Drainer could potentially fall behind. I mean, his team's all at half health. If Tegridy Damp can stay alive, make it to maybe 40% dampening, I think they could win this.
Let's see if they can do it. The Ross pressure is starting to add up. This is the part of the game where Creed is the most scary. Dak is going to have his Unending Resolve coming back up, his Trinket, his Dark Pact. He's going to have all of his cooldowns. That last hunt really was the moment for Creed to try to close it out, and they just didn't have enough pressure. And Fnobers is running that Feral Affinity, so definitely going to be helpful later on to stun people up. But right now, Dak in a lot of trouble here. Dark Pact comes out. He's trying to greed the unending resolve. And they have the Iron Bark. They're going to be able to hold off on it. Beautifully done here. Fnobers should have no trouble recovering his Warlock here. Stormkeeper though coming out from Baka. Big damage potential for that Elemental Shaman. They need counter pressure. And I really like that Fnobers is running mass entanglement and helping out so much so far in this matchup here. All these roots coming out all the time here on Demon Hunter, on the Shamans. Really tough for them. And now once again, Trend here looking to try to close it out, looking to try to force out some big cooldowns, but Dax once again very slippery on that Warlock. Teleports away. The Hunt comes in here and fake cast. No, he actually does commit it, but doesn't do too much. Dax still has unending result to work with here. Trying to kite out Trend here. Trend doing his best to stick on target. But Dak with that Night Face Soul Shape should have enough ability to run away. But Baka almost blasts him down here. He's kiting Fnobers, but the Drain Life's coming out here. Baka with a beautiful, beautiful knock, as well as that cap totem right there. Almost stops the Drain Life and just takes him down. But look at the pressure from Warlocks here. But that pressure from Baka was everything they needed. Dakrov now once again in a dire situation. Darkness comes out here. Warlocks carrying right now with his pressure. Dark Flare coming out from both Warlocks. Big pressure here. And that's going to force Creed to run away. And now we just finally set foot in dampening here for Tegridy Dam. And that should help them out quite a bit here, Sid.
Double Warlock, reverse sweep. I mean, it's looking all right, at least at this point. They've made it the longest in a game so far in the series. Fnobers' mana is still in a healthy position. They're setting up dots. They've got Drainer, Baka, and Tren in midfield. Perfect position for Walrick to get 3 dots. Dakroth stunned, though, at the moment. Needs to be careful. Low on health. Cenarian Ward is rolling. Big heals coming in from Fnobers. You always want to swift bend the Cenarian Ward, and he's landed those every time. Jumping in now and stunning Tren, peeling him away from Dakroth while Baka was bursting him down. Now Trent trying to connect, but getting rooted over and over here while fully dotted. So I don't think Drainer wants to take the gamble here and dispel unstable afflictions. And they've actually managed to force Creed to retreat back to the pillar. And if it ever gets to the position where they're just running, they're not able to connect onto a target, this is when you can tell that Tegridy Damp are in a good position. Drainer and Baka just gonna min-max their flesh crafts, get a big shield, try and sit down for a drink. Trainer sits down there behind Tren to regenerate some mana. Fnobers is also drinking, so both teams are setting up for this thing to go for the long haul.
You love to see that if you are a fan of Tegridy Damp, because the long haul, that's exactly where they want to be. Baka right now rotting down behind the pillar, and Dakrov here is going to take some damage. There's a Dark Pact, there's a double stun from Tren. We saw what happened last time. Tren trying to fake cast the Hunt here, not getting it just yet. Dakrov teleports away from it. Now Dakrov's not feeling too scared by the Hunt. He's got full HP. He's got some hots on him as well. Trying to cross the map here away from Trend. And now he's swapping over to Warwicks. Fake cast the Hunt onto the Warwicks and trying to just get some cooldowns here. Dakrov still 49 seconds on his unending resolve. If he can stall for that, he's going to be in great shape. And now here we go. Big setup. The Trink gets the Lightning Lasso, gets Spell Rush, gets counter stun. There's another stun there from the Lightning Lasso. And Dakrov here be finally getting some clears onto Tran and be able to escape for now, but still under some pressure. Fnobers has the Iron Bark to respond with. Dakrov's going to have his Dark Pact as well. There's a nice Shadow Fury there, I believe, from Warwick's. Warwick's been doing great counter pressure, and this is actually something they've been doing a good job with. Anytime Creed leaves the pillar, Tegridy Damp, one of them just pops his Dark Flare, pops his damage, and tries to get some counter pressure, and making it less likely that Trent can stay out in the open. Necro Pierce can trade out his Dark Pack. Should be enough. It's the Iron Bark as well. Had to use his Trinket in that earlier exchange. And Fnobber's build really makes sense for the double Warlock here. Ooh, nice opener here from Fnobber's. Going to force out Trent's Trinket and his defensive Soul Shape. And you see that Mass Entanglement. This is what I'm talking about. Fnobber's is playing Deep Roots and Mass Entanglement. Trent is rotting down behind the pillar. And double Warlock really do it here at 22% dampening. Creed is covering behind the pillar, Sid. But now Trent is leading the charge for another push.
I mean, at any moment, you get cracked by a Hunt, you get cracked by an Earthshock, it's game over. Dakroth trades unending resolve here during this Hunt. Tegridy Damp have played it out so long at this point, they don't want it to just completely burn in their face. They're almost at that 40% dampening mark at 25% now, but Dakroth is under fire. Fnobbers has limited options. They're panic fearing Tren. They're trying to get control. Drainer dispels an unstable affliction. Big gamble by Drainer to try and get Tren back into the fight. He does manage to recover for now, but this damage is really now finally starting to stick with 25% healing reduction. Dakarov portaling to safety behind the pillar. Tren chasing after him with the Metamorphosis into a Fell Rush, reconnecting, and now dealing out devastating amounts of damage. That Metamorphosis also gives him a ton of leech healing, so he can stay very aggressive at this moment in time. They need to focus down Baka and Drainer, which they are actually doing a phenomenal job of. Dark Soul is active for Walrick. He is going to be devastating the battlefield. There's not much left for Drainer to recover in this deep of dampening. How is he going to survive Spirit Link with everybody at low health? This might be a triple kill from the double Warlocks. If one Warlock isn't enough, you tag in another, I guess, here for Tegridy Damp. If they can somehow keep this momentum, Fnaubers is jumping on top of them, trying to land stuns, triple Howls of Terror, trying to get control, but Fnaubers is now getting punished for his push. He's going to have to get out of there and not get cleaved down. Dakarov trading Dark Pact as he swapped to. He might get dropped to. They're so close at this point, getting to that deep dampening stage. They still have a couple of Dark Souls in their back pocket, and the potential is there.
They just need to keep landing these entangling roots. Fnaubers is drinking right now. They don't have any defense on Dakarov, and Tren has the hunt. This next hunt has to be the one that closes out the match. Otherwise, Tren is likely to lose this one. And here we go. There's the setup. There's the counter stun. He gets feared on the hunt cast right there into the shadow side. He's going to take increased damage as if it wasn't bad enough. And now Warwick saves the day here with a beautiful fear right there, stopping the chain before it goes off. And look at that. Mass entanglement. Deep roots from Fnaubers. And they got the vortex as well down at the pillar. Everybody's pinned down. Damage sinking in here from Dakarov on that Warlock, garroting everybody down around the corner. And look at Creed. They have no option but to push forward here. And Fnaubers doesn't have too many answers. He's got Nature Swiftness. Dakarov has his Dark Pack. It could be enough here, but we are in deep dampening territory. Fnaubers gets a couple of pre-heals. Drops a Fleshcraft here. Doesn't want to get crowd controlled while Dakarov is under pressure. Dakarov uses his Demonic Circle as well as the Dark Pack here on a hunt fake. Gets a triple Heart of Terror behind the pillar. Now needs to cross the map here. Two Warwicks. Warwick's doing good damage here, doing good pressure, but the Tren still has the hunt, and he knows that if you commit it, that you have an opening here, but Fnaubers going to have his Iron Bark very, very short to deflect with, and that's what they're stalling for. Fnaubers now in crowd control. The hunt, fake cast by Tren. He can't reach it, actually, maybe out of range there for Dakarov. Dakarov going to be once again repositioning beautifully here, and I think they've ran out of the clock here on the side of Creed's head.
If Drainer can get back to his team, Drainer's out in midfield. He's in no man's land at the moment, getting shackled down, dispelling Unstable Affliction, trying to get downtown to the darkness of Tren, but now he's Vortex, his entire team dying. Ascendance basically did nothing there. He needs to get some casted heals out here with the Healing Wave. He gets the Spirit Walker's Grace. He's connecting massive AoE heals, although it is costing him basically the rest of his mana to recover from that push. Now just a couple more minutes. If he's caught in a position like that, he is not going to recover. Drainer interrupted, falling further behind. They're trying to go for the kill. They Howl of Terror. They're on the run. They swapped the Walrick deep in dampening, but he has managed to retreat back to the pillar. Tegridy Damp in a good position defensively at the moment. They have a lot of options. The pressure is there, potentially putting a point on the board here against Creed. Drainer soaks up another Unstable Affliction Dispel, putting him further behind here, trying to keep Tren aggressive. Walrick's just going to gate away, but Dakarov got left behind. He's going to port and try and escape to safety. Fnaubers manages to recover. Drainer dispelling another Unstable Affliction. Drainer is taking big gambles here, deep in dampening to try and get his team aggressive. Fnaubers is getting rotted down. Maybe they could even swap to Fnaubers here. Tren is on the hunt. He has it available. If he connects one of these to a target that doesn't have a cooldown, he could easily carry the game. Drainer is just trying to buy time for Tren at this point to connect that hunt. Although these roots are... Oh my goodness, Drainer, these dispels. He is gambling his life right now. Healing Tide Totem right in the nick of time, but dampening's at 50%. Healing Tide Totem is barely recovering Drainer and Baka at the pillar. Shadow Fury sniped around the corner, but Healing Tide is getting big value, and there's no way Warlocks are killing a Healing Tide Totem. And now Dakarov in trouble. They fought so hard to get to this point. They can't falter at this point. Unstable Afflictions are coming out on any resolve traded, likely by both Warlocks. Fnaubers has 0 mana. Drainer has 0 mana, but Tren is going for the kill. There's no counter pressure. Dakarov will fall despite their best efforts. Now Walrick's trying to kill the whole team here by himself, but I think it is unlikely as the Spirit Link Totem redistributes. Creed pull it off deep into dampening. But it was... Now I'm wondering if this is going to be Tegridy Damp's composition.
It should be. This is what we wanted to see all season from Tegridy Damp. And unfortunately, they fall right at the finish line. But what a game from them. And what a game from Creed to pull back there at the end as well. But that confirms it. 2 Shamans are stronger than Warlocks.